Alright, so we're gonna do a different type of video today. We're gonna list the last couple MVPs from all the way from 2008 to 2024, and then we're gonna see who had the best NBA season, or in your opinion, who had the highest peak. So, with starting out with 2008, Kobe Bryant was the MVP, averaging 28 points per game, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. Kobe Bryant went on to, if I'm not mistaken, he lost that finals to the Celtics. So it's not really, you could put that up with one of the best MVPs in league history, but he didn't top it off with a ring. Some of these people didn't, but the people that won the championship, I feel like people rate them higher than they actually are, their peak, because of their team. But Kobe did carry that Lakers team. They just couldn't get it done against a loaded Celtics team, so I don't blame it. He went back, he repeated, he spun the block, and he ended up beating them in 2010. So you can't fault that against Kobe. It's Kobe Bryant, bro. So yeah, in 2009, in 2010, it was LeBron James. He averaged 28.4, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists, and 1 block per game. That LeBron in 2009 was a man on a mission, and that's when they lost to Orlando Magic in the conference finals, I'm pretty sure. But LeBron was carrying that team for years. You cannot put that against LeBron for carrying that trash ass Cavs team, and he finally got the MVP that he was waiting on for the last since he came in the league, because he was really supposed to be an MVP favorite since his second to third year, and then he finally won it. And then right after that, like I just said, in 2010 he won it with his stats improving by 1 point per game, 29, 7, and 8, which he just improved on the following year. He didn't win any of those years, clearly, but clearly he was the most dominant player in basketball, and that's really when he became the face of the league and took it over from Kobe Bryant. From there, that's when he became the best, I feel like. And that Cavs stint is often forgotten, not forgotten, but it's one of his best stints. People say the 2018 stint and the Miami Heat stint is one of his best, because Miami Heat is when he got his ring, and Cavs, obviously, it was a one-man mission, literally. But this Cavs LeBron was more athletic. He was physically dominant. Yes, the jump shot hasn't evolved yet, but he was still there as a player. The next following year, the youngest MVP, Derrick Rose, averaging 25, 4, and 7. D Rose led the Bulls in pretty much everything but rebounding and blocks per game, which was Joakim Noah. So yes, LeBron was the runner-up. LeBron fans say he got this award stolen from him, but this was honestly D Rose's belonging. That's when he showed that he could potentially take this over from LeBron, and it being his third season in the league, him being this dominant at the point guard position is something the league has never seen before. He was gonna tear the league apart before the injury, obviously. So I don't knock that against D Rose, but I don't really see him as the highest peak on this list, because there's so many different players in this league. Back to back again, LeBron James, this time with the Heat, 27, 7, and 6. And this year in 2012, this is when he got it done. He won his first ring against the Thunder, a young third team. But LeBron finally, after 9 years, got his ring, and he got the MVP in the same season. And realistically, he should have had the Defensive Player of the Year this season. So this is really, in my opinion, his highest peak ever. But this is when he took the mantle and he stopped playing sidekick to D Wade when he was supposed to be the lead player from the jump. And then the next year in 2013, when they went back to back, was 26, 8, and 7. It's basically like the following season, but this year he improved his jump shot and he locked in way more on the defensive end. I think he finished third this season, or second again. I don't know. It's unbelievable that LeBron didn't win a Defensive Player of the Year, but I'm not going to even go into that. But 2014, Kevin Durant won an MVP, averaging 32, 7 and 5. This KD was a man on a mission. This is when Russ tore his meniscus. Patrick Beverly ran into his knee, and Westbrook was out for a majority of the games. I think half of the season, if I can remember right. But KD led the league in scoring. He was doing MVP everything, and he was playing at an MVP level. This KD, I feel like, was the best KD ever, his best year. I just rate this so much higher because he really had to carry that Thunder team without another star player. Serge Ibaka here was there, yes, but he was not nowhere near on the level of Russell Westbrook. So it was really him by himself, and I'm pretty sure they got the 8th seed that year, even though the 8th and the 9th seed, but they had a positive record. I think they missed the playoffs, yes, but KD full-heartedly deserved this MVP. Steph Curry, this is when he broke out. He averaged 23, 4, and 7, his first MVP. The stats don't show it, but he totally deserved this. He brought the Warriors back with a new coach in Steve Kerr. They won the ring this year, so there's nothing really to say. It's Steph Curry. This was him coming out of his shell. He was an all-star in 2014, don't get me wrong, but this 2015 season saw him in a different light. Like in 2014, they were comparing him to Dame and Kyrie, but in this season, he went a level beyond Kyrie and Dame and showed that he was better than them, even though there were still arguments for him and Kyrie at the time, but the Dame argument stopped after a while. And then 2016 is when the unanimous MVP, 35 and 6. This was the best Curry ever, in my opinion. The 2021 season comes close, but this Curry was just different. He was a man on a mission. Even though they didn't close out the 73-9 season, he was still playing possessed in the playoffs. They came back down 3-1 to the Thunder, which was a tough team to beat. Ringing that he had to help with Klay Thompson, but this Curry was something special. And then 2015, I forgot to say, he should have won that Finals MVP over Andre Iguodala, but I'm not going to even get into all of that. The stats prove it, that the stats don't lie. Andre Iguodala got that Finals MVP for locking up LeBron. LeBron still averages 30, so it don't really matter. But the next MVP is Russell Westbrook. He averaged 31, 10, and 10, the first player to average a triple-double since Oscar Robertson. And this peak means a lot to me because he was my favorite player at the time. He still is one of my favorite players, but this Westbrook was just different, bro. He led a terrible Thunder team to the playoffs, which people don't underestimate how good this Westbrook was. He was closing out games in the clutch. He was hitting tough buckets down the stretch. He was in tough situations. He was the clutchest player in the league that season, which is crazy to say now that we know he's on the Nuggets now. So this Westbrook was just possessed. He felt betrayed by KD leaving. He showed the world why KD should never left, but KD still won a ring at the end of the day because that was that team. But Westbrook proved that he is a superstar, and people should shut up about the turnovers, that he's not an efficient player, he can't not contribute to winning, when he led a terrible team, a team that should have been at the bottom of the West to the playoffs, which is crazy to say. The next season, James Harden won MVP, averaging 35 and 8. This Harden stats is not eye-popping to the following year Harden stats. The next couple years, but he averaged 35 or some shit like that. But this Harden was almost made the finals if they never choked that. If Chris Paul never got hurt in reality and they never missed 27 shots in a row, James Harden would have probably had a ring, which is crazy to say that James Harden, in that now that he's on the Clippers, he's a little washed now. But James Harden would have had a ring if Chris Paul never got hurt. And this James Harden was still getting buckets. People feel like he deserved the ring, the MVP last year. But Russ averaged a triple-double, so you can't give it to nobody else. So this Harden, they just got it back in blood. He came back the next season and got his award that he's been waiting for. Next MVP is Giannis Antetokounmpo. He won back-to-back, honestly, in 2019 and 2020. The first season, he averaged 27 points per game and 12 rebounds and 5 assists. 2019, this Giannis, he showed that he is more than just an all-star, because he made the all-star team 2 years in a row after not making it through his first 3 seasons. But this Giannis showed that he could be the best player in the world, which that wasn't even imaginable in 2019. I feel like he made a name for himself throughout the world, not just in Greece and not just in Milwaukee. He really took that Bucks team to new heights, and people saw them as a contender in the league. So that season just proved Giannis to be another name to look out for. He's 7 foot running a break, doing Euro steps from the free throw line, which is crazy. And then the following year, in 2020, it was a race between him and LeBron, but he closed it out with an even better season with 29 and a half points per game and 13 rebounds a game with 5 assists, which this Giannis came back even better than last Giannis, which was not even impossible, I feel like. So Giannis is often discredited for this MVP because LeBron was second, but Giannis deserved this MVP. They were the first seed, even though they didn't close it out. Giannis was just on a mission for these 2 seasons. The next MVP he won back-to-back. It's no surprise here. 2021 and 2022 was the Joker. The first season, he averaged 26 points per game, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists. And the Joker really broke out this season as the MVP, because the last couple of years, he really wasn't an MVP candidate, a best center in the league. Basically, it was between AD and Embiid, and this was when Jokic became the best in the league at his position, which I can't argue with that. The Joker was going crazy this season, and he full-heartedly deserved this ring. There's no doubt about it in my mind. But he carried this Nuggets team without Jamal Murray to the playoffs, which is crazy. MPJ got injured, so you can't really do anything about that. And in 2022, he averaged 27 points per game, 13 rebounds, and 8 assists, which I think Jamal Murray was still hurt, if I'm not mistaken. So he got a ring off of that alone, so I guess it's deserved. They couldn't close it out. They lost to the Warriors that year, and the Warriors went on to win the ring, but they came back the next year and won the ring. And really, Jokic was a front runner for this award too in 2023, which I may get to was Joel Embiid. He averaged 33, 10 and 4. This Embiid season is overlooked as one of the best MVP seasons, but he was really dominating. He took back the best center in the league from Jokic. He took that. He snatched his chain. So Embiid proved his worth. He's not second fiddle to Jokic, even though they lost in the second round to the Heat, I think, if I'm not mistaken. That year they lost to the Heat. Yeah, I think they lost to the Heat in the second round. But he got injured. James Harden couldn't step up, so that's just it for their season. In 2024, Jokic obviously won this year, 26, 12 rebounds, and 9 assists. People argue that Shea or Luka should have won this MVP. I don't think this is Jokic's best MVP season. I think his best MVP season was 2022. But I guess Jokic fans can argue that if they want to. But in my opinion, the highest MVP, I couldn't choose one, but it would either be 2012 LeBron, 2017 Westbrook, or 2016 Curry. But in my opinion, it would probably be Westbrook because of the team he had to carry to actually get them to the playoffs, even though he lost in the first round. But he couldn't really do anything with that shitty team. You can look it up. But let me know your opinions down below of who had the best MVP season.